Okay.
All right, gentlemen. Cheers.
We have survived.
Cheers indeed.
Welcome back.
Dead. Yep. There we go.
Touch my tip.
Touch the tip. There we go. In case you're wondering, we're being alcoholics right now.
This is great.
Except for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, because Matthew's the most responsible out of all of us.
He really is, though.
Yeah.
The man doesn't smoke. The man doesn't drink. The man has a
First of all,
solid job.
I want to applaud you for stopping.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Round of applause.
That was the most miserable 2 weeks of my fucking life.
I would give a better applause, but I think I broke my wrist, so we're gonna continue.
Bro, you should probably go get
Listen,
that checked
just
out.
full send. Break
Today
it
has
more,
been
be
the
a man.
worst day. It has been the worst day today with this wrist, but also I have lifted the most weight so far.
I do want to
yeah.
quote multiple times when Mitchell was overusing his currently injured wrist, and I was like, "Hey, Mitchell, do you want some help?" And he looks me dead in the eyes. I'm stubborn. All right.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
because I got a new bed frame. I had to unload stuff out of the back of a truck at the dump today. I cooked.
What were you doing at the dump?
Parents bought a new house.
Visiting
and they
my
ripped up-
ex-girlfriends.
Oh man. See, that might sound like a very spicy take, but I've met Matthew's exes, and yeah, they're not good people.
Holy shit.
They're not good people.
See, this. You never mind.
Matthew, what's your red flag using my ex as comedic humor?
I don't know. Considering the emotional damage that's been done to you by your exes, I feel like that's kind of valid.
Hey, listen, why do you think I'm an emotional dumpster fire this fucking week? Father's Day!
Oh man, we're not going to talk about
Hey,
that.
bud,
Anyway.
I was really trying to forget that just so you forgot about it, but I understand that you can't.
Trust me, I can't!
Matthew back. How could this happen to me?
Speaking of names, though, welcome back to Lorecast Eternals, everybody. Sorry, it's been a minute. I'm Phil.
I'm Mitchell.
And I'm Jacob.
And I'm a dumpster fire.
There we go.
Bro, Matthew, unless that is what is printed on your birth certificate, I'm going to need you to correct yourself.
I
mean,
swear
I'll
to have the
God.
money to do that in like 2 weeks so that can be arranged.
Bitch, fuck off.
Actually, I want to see this happen.
Quit encouraging his bad behavior.
Hold on. Festus was coming in, and I was vaping that way, and then Festus just hold on, like baby goated and fell on his ass.
Every time that fucking cat comes in here, he gets traumatized by someone. It's either me or whoever's sitting closest to the fucking door.
To be fair,
Okay.
it's not hard.
Well, I was going to say, to be fair, it's not your fault when he jumps off your lap directly into the fucking wall.
I tried to safely set him down, but he's just like...
Oh, sorry, everybody. I'm going to be dying this entire episode, plus the next one. This is the pre-ramble.
And the next one.
Yup.
And the next one.
Oh, I thought we
And
were
the
just
next
going to
one.
go straight into the episode.
Nah, we're going
And
to
the
do this
next
for
one.
like 15 to 20
And the next
minutes
one.
just to loosen up the gears.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, I think I'm on to now my third cup of...
Maybe it's
Plum
not your
wine,
gears
so-
that need to be loosened.
Phil's gonna be stripping here in the next hour or so.
Oh, man. Okay, do you remember that one night back in College Station where I got fucking hammered at your place and got so hot I took my shirt off? That was the same night that I think both the cats were there hanging out as well.
No, it's just one.
Oh, was it the one?
It was just one cat because
Oh, okay.
by that time, the other cat, we were not on speaking terms.
That's right. But yeah, no, that was... Oh, man, I did not look fondly back on that night. I got way too hammered.
Was not a good look, bud.
Well, considering I've been, fat since I was 20, yeah, it was not.
That was not a good look.
God, there was the one time that I can remember. I forget what episode it was, but we'd been drinking the entire episode, and me and Phil had a really, really long day, and Phil had definitely drank a lot heavier than other than me and you had. And after the episode was done, he just slides out of the floor and like passes out, and I was like, "Hey, Phil, I want to go home." And Phil was
Oh, shit, I
just
remember that
fucking
night.
dead, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, "Hey Mitchell, can I sleep on your couch, please?"
I just want to apologize to everybody. You definitely just heard my gigantic, like me chewing on my cough drop. That's what that spike on my thing is. And I looked over, I did the chew, and I went, "Kunk," and I went, "Huh, I wonder if that got caught." Oh crap!
No one heard that. The audio system just like, interesting.
Yeah.
we're back. It has been
So-
an interesting month and a half, I think.
Oh my gosh, it honestly feels like 6.
Is this
So-
this has been
Yeah.
more than half.
Kowalski status report.
Gotcha.
So on my end of things, not only did I, so I've now officially graduated from the program. I don't know if I had by the last time we did.
So you
one
did
of these.
not. No.
Okay, yeah. So I've officially graduated, and I've accepted a job at the place I was interning. And yeah, no, that was oh my god. And then I had to move out pretty shortly thereafter, and
Fucking nightmare.
yeah, but yeah, no, that was, whew, that was something, man.
It was an experience.
Oh yeah, definitely hiring movers next time.
The polite way to say it is it was character building.
Why do you think I bought
Yes.
this new bed frame?
To torture movers.
No, it's so I don't have to torture the movers as much with my other bed frame.
Oh.
Yeah, his headboard alone weighs as much as a baby fucking elephant. Ask me how I know.
God, that sucked.
Dude, what was it, like fucking 12 o'clock, dead of fucking night, singular box truck? Just, oh god, we had to go out the back the long way around. Thought I was gonna fucking stroke out in the process.
I think my headboard alone is 300 pounds.
It was not fun.
But yeah, so
And it's top heavy.
yeah, so I moved, and then yeah, I've just been going to work. Although after this move, God, it's so nice. I can wake up at 8:30, take a shower, and still show up to work on time at 9 o'clock now. It's so fucking nice living 5 minutes away from my work.
I
Yeah.
know.
It was pretty wild when I was moving with them. We're just cruising on the road, and Phil's like, "Man, I get to sleep in. Like, I get to wake up at like 7:30 now." And my fucking monkey brain's like, "I'm sleeping," and then my brain's like, "He has to wake up at 5:30 to commute." I'm like, "Holy shit, no, that is a pretty big deal."
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to wake up at like 6, and then I'd have to be out the door of my apartment by like 7:30 to get to my job at 9. And now I can literally wake up at 8:45, like throw on some deodorant, and still be at work on
Dude,
time.
when I originally got the job in Bryan, remember, like, I got up at 5:30 or 5:45 to be out the door by like 6:15.
Yeah.
Then I would stop at Buc-ee's,
Mm-hmm.
as one does when you live right next to
If
Buc-ee's.
you live
Yeah.
next to a Buc-ee's or it's on your commute and you don't stop at it during your commute, are you even commuting?
Correct. Also, Buc-ee's coffee just hits different. It is actually just really good coffee.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I've always been more of an energy drink guy, but yeah.
then I would drive an hour and 15 minutes to Bryan every day for 3 months.
We could slowly see the light leave his eyes.
Wait. You would drive to Bryan?
This is right before I moved back to Bryan. Yeah,
It's when
I drove all the way to Bryan.
That's
Bastrop,
right.
yeah.
That's right. Because you went from
Bryan to
Bastrop,
Bastrop, back to
back
Bryan.
to Bryan.
That's actually
Yeah.
the apartment that the podcast was born in.
Yeah, though Walnut
Yeah.
Ridge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where we all sat huddled around one singular like $40 mic like cavemen trying to not die from the cold, screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, fond memories.
Yep. But yeah, no, it's been crazy. I don't know, Mitchell, what was going on with you besides breaking your arm?
I don't know.
I picked up playing goalie. I bought my skates. I bought my mask. Some friend is letting me borrow all of his pads.
Nice.
The mask that's the Game Boy helmet you showed me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
So the mask that I bought, it's by Victory Goalie Masks,
Uh-huh.
and they're the only company that makes their mask out of specifically bulletproof plastic for this level. And you can get it in clear, which is the only company that makes a clear goalie mask.
Nice.
A lot of people have some hesitance when it comes to plastic 100% polycarbonate mask because the Bauer 930s are considered widowmakers because they're really thin plastic and you take a puck off the head and all that force is going straight to your head.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
he died.
But that's not, plastic that's meant to be bulletproof. This is bulletproof plastic that can get shot up probably up to a 32 ACP, maybe even a
Oh, so this is like
a
level
380.
So this is like level 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Level 3 plus.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You said small bullet. I don't know what his definition of small bullet is. It could be a 22.
Okay, so it's at least level 2 though.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Point being is it's highly unlikely that a puck is gonna break through that
Exactly. And like shatter the plastic.
unless someone has a hell of an arm.
Yeah. But that was not the original goalie mask because I originally got the V4, which if you look at the number, that's how much hundreds of dollars it cost. So it was originally $400, and I got the V6, which is $600 because I wasn't comfortable with spending more on my skates than my mask.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd say that makes sense. Yeah.
My lease renewed to this apartment, so I had money
Dude,
because I didn't have to pay the first month rent.
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
have the next 2 months rent free at my apartment.
It's
I'm gonna
amazing, isn't
I'm
it?
gonna have so much fucking cash. It's gonna be dope.
You know, ironically, we all just signed new leases because I just renewed my lease for 2 years at the house.
You just moved in.
Yeah, you just signed a new lease.
Oh my
too,
god!
not
So
that
did
long
Matt.
ago, right?
What the fuck?
We're all stuck where we're at.
Yeah. Woo,
just
stagnancy,
moved.
which is funny about the episode we're talking about.
Oh, you're
Right.
right.
Oh.
And I too have moved in the past month and a half, and I too have gotten 2 months of free rent.
Nice.
So I was able to pay off, an annoying big boy loan. So like we're good now.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's funny because I know when
This hurts my wrist.
when.
But the other way around.
Oh, that
you
was a close
nugget.
pour, motherfucker. No, it's funny though because when Matthew's moving, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go help him move and whatnot. But in my head, I was like, fuck, I hate moving. But then he like got it all done because me and my friend that are gonna go help him had transportation issues. So oh no, we already got it done. I was like, well, it sucks, couldn't help my friend, but like, hey, I got to miss moving. And then Phil's in the rafters like, motherfucker. And yeah, I lost one to gain a much shittier one.
It's
To be fair though, I paid you for your time.
No, let me fair. I'm not bitching, but I'm also not gonna say it wasn't fucking awful.
Helping
Yeah,
Matt
that's fair.
move was a dream.
You know what's funny
That
is
was
Didn't
really
have a
easy.
whole lot of shit.
it wasn't even that. I wasn't packed. I packed same day, got the U-Haul, and got all of my shit out in 4.5 hours.
How?
No.
How?
Everyone stare at Phil for a second.
No, I'm sorry. No, shut the fuck up. How the fuck did you do that? 'Cause
I
it
want
takes
you
me
to
at least
stare-
3 days to pack.
Stare me in the eyes.
Yes.
Be better.
Bro, this man was over here casting fucking witchcraft
Okay.
as far as I
Okay,
can tell.
hold on. I have to stand up for my boy, because he also is paying me a lot more than he should for helping him move. Matt has, like, I would say, being liberal, like a third of the shit that Philip had. A big problem when we were moving is like, hey, we got all this shit. Oh, look, there's more shit. Got that shit. Oh, look, there's more shit. Got that shit. Oh, my fucking God. Why is there more shit?
There's that too.
To be,
Yeah.
to be fair, there were definitely a couple times I was like, hey, go double check and make sure this room is clear. And you'd be like, it's clear. And then I'd open up the closet and be like, bruh.
You have no right to say that to me because I cleaned out your fucking office.
Dude, just be
Okay,
so
that's fair.
happy that y'all did not help me move into this place. It sucked.
Yeah, I heard the fucking
Yeah.
horror stories,
I
and I have to
remember-
walk up and whatnot. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Ethan about it. And, like, yeah, Ethan was like, no, dude, this sucked. And I was like,
Yeah.
It's
It
one of those.
took Matt, it took 3.5 hours to unload the truck to get everything in here. Because look how long that walk is.
This is why I'm glad I'm a fucking minimalist.
yeah.
With the
Yeah.
amount of
Yeah.
shit that I have.
There's a reason why I am trying to slowly replace the things that I consider heavy in this apartment.
From what
When
I
I
heard,
move, this oops, sorry.
Ooh,
This desk, it's not going with me.
Yeah.
It's just not.
that's fair.
Dude, that's... I left quite a few things behind at the old apartment.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard.
But yeah, I heard the move for Mitchell's was definitely one of those moves that really tests how good of friends you are with them because you're like, I could just fucking
They
leave.
left. They left. I wasn't even done because I still had to go pick you up and move that bed frame into a box truck.
Yep.
Which I highly regret accepting that bed frame. I highly regret it because I love it to death. It is a tank. But oh my!
Like, it's a great bed frame if you're in a gunfight. Like, that's that.
It is solid wood. My headboard alone is 6 feet tall.
That thing could stop a tank round. Man, oh, it wasn't that day when we went to IKEA and me and you built like 9 different IKEA things.
No, we just got the desk.
It was the 2 desks. I think there was a cabinet or something as well.
No, I got the bookshelf from Target, which also Target bookshelves go hard.
Yeah, they do.
I got to go buy 2 more because I got to put all. I'm here for another 15 months, so I I need to put all this art up.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm gonna put
Yeah.
the Texas maps in my room so it matches the Driscoll bed frame.
The light off that new lamp you got
Oh my
would
god.
look would
I
reflect
don't-
real well.
I have
Yeah.
never felt more middle-aged than being so excited to get that lamp. It was the last lamp.
Listen. If memes have taught me one thing, lamp. It's
Like-
important.
Like that lamp, my dad bought one and he brought it back to the house and I saw it and I was like, why did you not buy me one of these? Like, I am highly offended. So I had to wait 2 days, get there. A lady showed up that day to grab every single one of those lamps left and so happened to lose one and leave it behind because they couldn't find it. And I just turn around and it's just right there. On this stand. I'm like, yes!
Grab
I
that
picked it
lamp,
up and I carried it like my baby for the next 30 minutes.
tucked it in
Nice.
his pouch.
It's kind of funny. Moths and flies are attracted to lights, aka lamps, and we're talking about Nurgle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mothman is proud of you. Mothman is proud of you.
And speaking of what the fuck was that? Someone breaking in?
It's probably Hephaestus being Hephaestus.
It's a fest in his lack of coordination.
Like
Yeah.
speaking of Nurgle based shit, if you are ever going to quit smoking, aka smoking nicotine or vaping, do not do what Matthew did and quit cold turkey and then proceed to have withdrawals for the next 2 weeks.
Dude, that's the funny thing about all this is like vaping is one of the easier forms of nicotine consumption to quit because you can like seriously control your nicotine intake through the percentage of nicotine that's inside of the juice. And instead of being a reasonable fucking human and like, you know, throttling down your nicotine, you just went cold fucking turkey and it's like, you dumb motherfucker.
Honestly, mad respect though.
Oh yeah, no, hell respect.
Did you follow my mint recommendation at all? Like go get Lifesaver mints at all?
I don't remember, man. Those
Nah,
2
he
weeks
chose
were a fucking
suffering.
blur.
Like Matthew had a choice and he chose to fight God. Like that's basically how that went. He succeeded, and you definitely round of applause. But
Like I can't tell you how many times we're gonna get a little dark for a second here. I can't tell you how many times I almost bought like nicotineless vape juice for my vape. How many times I almost bought like those like fume or other vaping alternatives that aren't actually vapes. It's just flavored air, literally flavored air. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how close I was to turning around when I was going home one day after being extremely pissed off at work and nicotine withdrawals and almost bought a 6-pack.
Oh yeah, because you don't drink.
No, I
Motherfucker.
don't.
Bro. Oof.
I'm proud of you nonetheless.
Yeah. All right.
Not many people can succeed cold turkey. That shit's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I need to. Going back to the shelving thing earlier, though, I need to go to IKEA and pick up some bookshelves because I've got like boxes and boxes and boxes of Warhammer that I need to find a home for. Because like at this point, my cat is living in like half of my apartment, and
Honestly, do you have a 2-bedroom? 1-bedroom?
The closet's huge though.
Shelves from Costco, like the metal shelves, like they're
yeah, but I don't
similar
have
to that.
I don't have a membership. Speaking of which, where the fuck is my wall? Oh, that's right.
We
But
got
yeah.
one of these days.
Yeah, no. I'll take a look at what you got here in a minute, and we can talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, in other news, I got a new phone, and I am very fucking happy with it. I also decided to upgrade and get new peripherals because my watch and my earbuds were like, they were both almost as old as the phone, and they were both starting to give me issues. So I decided to go all Galaxy.
Damn,
Excuse me.
these look way different than the ones I have.
Yeah, that's like their new hotness. Did you know that Galaxy is making a Ring wearable now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's for like health things. You know how much they're charging for that at Best Buy?
700,
650.
400.
$400.
What the hell?
You know how much this watch was that does a lot more shit than that?
That's about 300 to 400.
It's like 150.
$150.
Hmm.
These were
Damn.
$150. These were
I love that band, by the way.
yeah, the ones that tuck under. Fucking
Yeah.
love that shit.
Yeah,
I
I still have the one that I originally bought, and I still wear it every day.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the this watch ended up being like 150. The headphones ended up being, I think they were actually more like 180.
It's not
But
bad.
like basically after tax, it ended up being about 400.
I'm thinking about getting the OnePlus 13R.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
I looked that up a little bit. I'm guessing it's just like kind of a generic Android.
It's just you can call Samsung a generic Android. It's just a different phone brand.
Gotcha.
And it's mainly its entire shtick is a better battery life.
Gotcha.
And I don't need the high computer power, and I don't really use my camera too much. So to me, just the battery and just being able to, it really depends on its size.
And
Because if
that's-
not, I might just get the Google 9A.
Yeah, so that's actually part of the reason I ended up going with the 25 plus. Originally, I just wanted a 25, but they didn't have any at the Best Buy I was going to, and like my phone was dying, like actively dying, and I was like, okay, what do you got in stock? And they were like, well, we've got this open box S 25 plus, and I was like, what does open box mean? It's like it means they returned it within 14 days, and he went and got the box, and he was like, yeah, this thing's rated excellent. This is basically brand new. Like technically the box has been opened, but like that's basically it. And I was like, cool, good enough. But for whenever I do like parts validation and things like or field service, I often have to take videos and things like that for various purposes. Often, like one of the big ones is whenever I'm doing light field adjustments. So I'm literally adjusting how much X-rays are coming through. And in order to do that, you have to put down this light field that reacts to X-rays by glowing. And traditionally, the way you would do that is you'd rig up a remote exposure activator. It's literally like a little like bomb switch that you see on TV shows for like bomb vests and things like that. It literally looks like that and plugs into your control console. And you literally stand right next to the X-ray machine as it's exposing and you just go click. And then you just watch it. But nowadays, what people do instead, since you now have cameras on your smartphones, is they just throw the camera up on top of the face shield, and you basically just blast your phone with X-rays.
Oh man, phones like father help.
Hey guys, don't forget, Apple is launching a new feature with their latest new phone or iOS. I forget
Is it
which one
Swipe?
No, it's even better.
What
And
is
I
it?
can't believe they've finally invented
hear a
this
hint of
miraculous software development.
What is it?
Your phone will now show you the percentage of battery it has in a numerical value.
Oh my god. Okay, so I
I know. I wish I was kidding.
Wait, what the fuck?
I think that's in the more recent iOS update.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
you could do this the second I got it.
I think it may have been
It's in the
specifically
fucking settings.
while it was charging. I think I could be wrong. I was trying to find it on my Facebook, but I couldn't find it to read into it a little more.
Every
but,
day
yeah.
I have more and more guilt for having an iPhone. for
Apple's
dumbass
intuitive,
shit
man. What are
like
you talking
this.
about?
Yeah. No, it was funny. A bunch of my coworkers were like, "Oh yeah, you should get an iPhone because we all have iPhones, and like it would integrate really well with the rest of the team." And I'm like, "I'd rather pull my fucking eyeballs out."
I have an iPhone for work.
Mhm.
I hate it so much.
Oh yeah.
I hate it with such a burning passion. I understand that you're used to your iPhone.
I have my reasons for liking iPhone. Y'all can bitch
Yeah.
as much as y'all want. I don't give a singular fuck about y'all's opinions.
So here's my thing about
Wow.
iPhone. I may not like iPhone because of its user interface, but iPhone's ecosystem of products, like you got to give it props for its synergy.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah.
perfect, but it's pretty fucking
No.
impressive.
Yeah.
Though,
I take the same approach to Apple as I take to GW. I love their product. I fucking hate the company,
Yeah, that's right.
but their product works for me.
I
Yeah.
do thoroughly enjoy because I did get a new laptop with Windows 11, and I can connect my phone to my laptop, and I
Yeah.
can just text from there, make calls and whatnot. It's really nice. I wish this was
yeah.
Oh boy.
No, it's. I was actually talking to someone the other day about why I prefer Android over iPhone, and I was like, "Look, iPhone. My big thing about iPhone is the iPhone. It holds your hand through a lot of its user interface and things like that. It's like it synergizes really well, like you were saying, Matthew, about their ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like yeah, the synergy is really well put together. It's really there. But I prefer Android for the same reason I prefer PC over console. Like, it gives you a lot more options on what you can do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hold your hand.
Yeah,
So,
no, 100% doesn't.
I'm gonna get into the console thing real soon about the new Xbox stuff,
Mhm.
but I mainly just prefer Androids because that's what I've been using since day one. I had
same.
I had a Droid X.
Wait,
Jesus.
are you talking about that droid?
Yeah, Droid.
Really?
That one. Yeah.
Droid.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking the Roger phone. Fucking.
Like I had one of those, and that's how long I've been
I
using.
forgot about that.
That's how long
I
I've
sure
been
shit
using
didn't.
Android.
My very
Like-
first girlfriend's best friend had one of those phones, and I always fucking played with it whenever we hung out.
Yeah, I love that phone. That was such a cool phone. My fun fact: my first phone was a Microsoft Blackjack.
What the fuck is
Oh
that?
man, my first
Jesus.
phone was the Cricket Flip with the little screen that would light up when someone got you a call. 13-year-old seriously loved the fuck out of that phone.
My first phone was a hand-me-down flip phone from my mother. My second phone, because that one broke. My second phone was a hand-me-down flip from my father. And then my first phone that was specifically bought for me was actually a slider that had the full. You would slide it.
Oh,
up and
dude,
it
I
had the
fucking
full
love
keyboard.
those phones so much.
Yeah, no. You want to know the really funny thing?
That
I
was back
signed
when
up.
BlackBerry like fucking was king over phones, right? 'Cause they had the best
Yeah.
fucking slide
Yeah.
phones ever. You got
Oh,
a
no,
BlackBerry, you were like king shit.
Oh yeah. No, the really funny thing about that though, my parents disabled the ability for me to send and receive text messages on that phone
Sorry.
because I kept getting $10 text messages from GameStop.
Fucking Christ. Back
So,
when they-
so that's
oh my
so that's the
God.
really funny thing about all this is that so you know a lot of people in our generation you can literally send them a message that's just
Yeah.
a series of numbers.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I know what that says because it converts over to how many times you'd have to strike those numbers
Yeah.
to generate a
K9.
message.
Yeah.
K9. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you have it's like 99966339488.
Yeah, exactly. I actually never dealt with that because around the same time I got my phone was whenever I got my GameStop membership for their magazines, and I started getting those $10 messages.
Back when the GameStop magazines were fucking great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So so I never had the ability
God,
to
we are
text
showing our age so bad.
a little bit.
We're-
Yeah.
okay,
We're from the cool generation.
Real
Fuck
quick,
off.
before this continues, talk about like fucking showing our age. You know how we had like the Xbox has like Game Pass and they have all these fucking things. About,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
monthly subscription.
Yeah.
I had a fucking subscription to GameFly when it first came out, where they would
Jesus.
mail you a
Yeah.
video game through
Yeah.
the mail, and that's how I fucking played the OG Modern Warfare 2. 'Cause that was the
Uh-huh.
first game I wanted to get on GameFly, and I popped it in, and I was like, you know what? I like this game so much, I'm gonna keep it. And then GameFly was like, where the fuck's our game? I was like, here's $60. Shut the fuck up. And they were like, yes, sir. And then I probably canceled my subscription until I got what I wanted.
Nice. So so I never had the ability to send text messages until I was in high school with my slide phone.
I had
And
it.
then from there I went straight into like I think it was the first generation of Samsung Galaxy smartphones.
Oh Jesus.
I think it was an
Oh,
S6.
man.
No, it was an
Fucking OG
S6.
Galaxies.
It was
I
an
had-
S6. And that thing, the funny thing about that is I look at my S25 now and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is so fucking massive.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, if I open up this thing, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got like a 6x4 tile screen.
Our older
I still
phones
remember.
could fit inside our newer phones.
Yeah, no, I still remember back in my OG Galaxy where I had like a 3x4 tile
Yeah.
screen, and
Yeah.
that was and
Yeah.
like YouTube, fucking
Fuck no.
You did not stream YouTube on that shit.
Bro, you know what's fucking horrifying?
Uh.
Is that we are officially like we are the generation of I used to get Netflix by the mail. Okay, Grandpa. Like Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Dude, I still remember Blockbuster.
Oh
Same.
my god.
Movie gallery. I
miss-
fucking love movie
I
gallery,
still
man.
remember Hastings.
Yeah.
God,
Dude.
remember Hastings and Brian before it shut
Friday
down?
Night Magic.
Yes.
God,
Oh.
dude,
Oh man. Oh,
I
speaking-
understand that you do not play Magic anymore. I would
There's an Avatar:
love.
The Last
Thanks,
Airbender card
Hasbro.
coming out.
I would love to go. God damn it. Go back to Pat's games just once to do a draft, just to remember the days.
Well, okay, let me be clear. I no longer collect. I'm currently hawking my entire collect. You never know how much money you have in cards until you're like, hey, my friend who also plays Magic, do you want to buy off my entire collection? You walk away with like $1,800. But I don't collect anymore, so I'm getting rid of all my decks and cards. But like, I'm not opposed to doing a draft, or if someone wants to throw a deck my way and play,
Dude,
I'll still play. I'm just not going to be putting any more money because.
How come you won't play Grand Archive with us?
So I will. At the time,
Okay.
you were asking me right after I stopped playing Magic, and I was
shit.
like, I want nothing to do with a trading card game right now because I played Magic since. Jesus Christ, bitch! Calm the fuck that your wrist, brother, your wrist.
Choose a deck. Damn it.
I have regrets. I have deep-seated regrets.
Well, I want to play the anime trading
But
card
no,
game.
the problem was that like I played Magic since I was a junior in fucking high school. It was my favorite type of like board game. Today, I liked it more than I liked fucking 40K tabletop, which obviously now I prefer.
Magic?
I
Yeah,
prefer
dude,
tabletop
I
more because
loved
I'm done.
playing Magic in high school
But
so
I
much.
had dropped the game, and like 3 days later, Mitchell was like, "You should play Grand Archive," and I was like, "If I fucking touch a singular card for any type of card type game, I'm going to rip out my fucking eyes." And then Mitchell, you were like, "Okay, cool." Next day, here, you want to play Grand Archive? I'm like, "Fucking no, I don't want to fucking play it."
So really funny thing, the same time you stopped playing Magic, I also more or less stopped playing Magic, but I didn't get rid of my collection. So on, I think it was Wednesday. No, it was Tuesday. I was talking to my boss, and my boss, he used to play competitive Magic. Like, he used to have a play set of like Tundras. Like
Yeah, so
OG dual lands.
If your boss like still had those cards, if he still has those cards, they're like worth thousands of dollars right now.
So he was very much, when he first started playing, he was like, oh yeah, no, like I'm going to invest in lands because lands always hold their value. So like during Tarkir, when like they came out with all the dual lands again, yeah, no, he literally he was showing me his list because he still has records of all the lists he had of cards. He literally had $5,000 worth of dual lands at one point.
Yep.
Jeez. So which
It's terrifying.
Which is funny because depending on the dual lands, he could have $5,000 in dual lands and have like 3 dual lands.
Oh no, that was just Tarkir lands.
Oh, you mean he had 5 or the fetches? Oh,
Yeah. No, and then he had another like $6,000 or $8,000 worth of OG dual lands.
Can you go grab me a water? But also play Grand Archive with me sometime.
But no, to wrap up my story, on Tuesday I was like, because we'd been talking about Magic, and I'd also been talking to some of the guys up in HQ for the company I work for, and during the company retreat that's hosted every year, they all get together, and a lot of guys up there play Commander. And it's funny because the part validation guy I have to work with closely up in HQ, he's a big Magic player. He's not so much a collector, but he's a big Magic player for Commander. And I was telling him about some of the decks I run, and he was like, bro, that is fucking nasty. We play casual. And I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, there's a reason why I never played with y'all, Commander, because y'all's definition of casual is not casual.
Yeah. No, it's for people who play seriously, it is very casual.
That's a bunch of bullshit, and I can tell you why.
Oh, I said it's sparkling water. But I will
I'll take
still...
that. I'll take that.
Okay, here you go.
Yes.
But okay, going back to Xbox real quick.
It is a bunch of bullshit. I will be commenting on it when I get back.
Okay.
That's fair.
So Xbox, their next generation consoles,
Yeah, I've
are
heard
going to
a little bit
be
about
able
it.
to do Xbox.
They're basically pre-built PCs.
They're just going to
Yeah.
be pre-built PCs. Also, they have had their own Steam Deck now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is honestly pretty cool.
yeah.
I honestly think that Microsoft is doing the correct thing at the moment because
They're
consoles
reading
are
the landscape here.
there are. Thank you. God damn it! Sorry everybody for coughing in the
Well,
mic.
also, like, especially, I saw a statistic recently that said that the new Switch 2 was one of the fastest selling game consoles of all time.
Yes.
And I'm just like,
I mean Nintendo.
yeah, and I'm just like, why though? Because I guess this isn't that common knowledge, but technically nobody actually owns a Switch 2.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
They own the right to use it, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're not legally allowed to not like legally get in trouble legally, but if you make any
No,
type of
legally-
modifications, they'll just like shut down your Switch.
No,
2.
that is like legal.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
part of the terms and service
Yeah.
of the console.
So-
is
And
like
and
you
even-
cannot make any modifications to it. You cannot do any repair to it
Yeah,
because
and
you legally don't
they'll
own the
remotely
device.
shut your shit down.
Yeah.
And not even that. If you buy a physical game, you just have a physical activation key to play the game. You don't actually have the game.
Yeah, you don't own the game. Nintendo has 100% figured out how to completely monetize it to the point where no one can ever make any additional money off of their systems ever.
And $80 Mario Kart can kiss the greenest part of my ass.
I'm honestly
yeah.
pretty excited for Xbox is doing because
Oh,
if
you mean ending the console wars? Yeah.
because they're just giving up and falling into we're just going to let you play Steam on it.
Yeah. Xbox is like, you know what? Why fight the war? What is it?
We can just join the winning side. They're just Italy at this point.
Yeah, like you know,
That took me a second.
the only way to win is to not play. Basically, like they're just like, hey, we have Steam now, and PlayStation's like, wait, no, wait. And it's like, joke's on you, bitch. Plays The Last of Us through Steam. suck my dick.
Yeah, plays The Last of Us through Steam on my new Xbox handheld console.
You know
And
what that,
I-
hold up. You know what that does mean though.
Ah.
Xbox reinforcements on Helldivers.
But I want to also say this, like, dude, the Xbox Game Pass is actually still just like a really good deal
Oh, it's
because
an amazing deal.
It's an amazing deal.
it's just brand spanking new games every single month that are like AAA games.
If I remember correctly, I'm gonna overshoot it a little. If I remember correctly, I think a monthly Xbox Game Pass subscription, if you get like the best version, is like $25 a month, right?
It's like
I
21,
think it's
25, yeah.
I think what it is you pay annually for the best one, and then it breaks down into like $25 a month. I think it's like 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's $25 a
anyway.
month. So that fucking that's $300 a year, right?
If you avidly
So
play games,
let's just say if you're a pretty decent gamer, maybe not super hardcore, but you know you're definitely the kind of person who gets off from work, gets home, takes a shower, makes some food, then you want a game for 2, 3, 4 hours before you go to bed. So you play consistently.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably gonna buy 8, 9, 10 games throughout the year just to keep yourself, you know, occupied. Let's say it's a mix of $60 and $40 games. Let's go ahead and round that out. Let's just say
Just average it out to 50. Make the math easy.
At the 50. So let's say you do 8 games a year at 50. That's
$400
$400. So
Yep.
right there, you're already saving money. And if you're a hardcore gamer, especially someone who, like, maybe not someone who makes money off of it, but someone who just games all the time with friends, like you're on your computer, you're on your console, playing it all, and the new game comes that everyone likes, you buy it, you play it for a month, never fucking play it again, because I know, I am that person, I know how it goes. You're going to go through a whole lot more money. And then you have the Game Pass, which is like, hey, every single new game we get is more like, you know, probably going to go into Game Pass.
yeah, dude, Claire, Expedition,
Obscura? Yeah.
just Game Pass.
Yeah.
Then you have the Elder Scrolls Oblivion that came out.
The remaster, that Shadow dropped and went immediately into Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Call of Duty's
also
on Game
something
Pass
that a
now,
lot
not
of
that I
people
cares
didn't
about Call of
realize is
Duty.
that like you can just set up your mouse and keyboard on an Xbox.
And then when you connect the Game Pass with Steam being on your fucking Xbox, like there's literally no way to. The only way that you quote unquote lose is if you want to play Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Nintendo
stop
Flash,
playing
like,
Nintendo
don't.
games. That company is kind of turning into Satan.
Yeah.
Just don't. Yeah, just don't.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I shred on Mario Kart, but also like, nah.
So I actually have one extremely hot take that I'm not going to share on here because I know I will get shredded for saying
Do it. No one fucking cares. This is a podcast about small plastic men.
Hey,
I will
hang on,
pause
hang
this,
on.
okay?
Yeah, we'll pause it, and then like you can tell us, and then we'll tell you whether or not it's too hot.
Ready?
So after Matthew's hot take, he's been kicked from the house and is no longer our friend.
No. But so Matthew, go ahead and say what you're gonna say because I actually can link this back to Games Workshop.
Oh, okay, all right. So actually, before the hot take, I have something that I want to like vent about for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
And
One Mississippi.
right, so
Two
we're
Mississippi.
talking about old games.
Shut the
and
fuck
Cut
up.
his fucking mic.
So for those of y'all who are not our age or within the past 5 years younger than us, when a game came out, that's all you got on PS2. Or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there
PS2
were no
on Xbox.
DLCs, or they
There
were
wasn't DLCs.
extremely rare.
Yeah, or it was like, here's a Game of the Year edition of this game, or like a plus ultra version of this game.
Dude, I
that
still
has some
remember.
new content.
I still remember that whenever you wanted a DLC for your game, you
Yeah.
had to go back to GameStop and
buy,
buy a
yeah.
new CD.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you had like the activation code you had to buy physically that you couldn't get online, and you had to like go into into like Xbox and type that in to get it.
Yeah, and then you had to have like an internet connection. It would download the DLC. Yeah, I still remember those days.
Yeah, and like honestly, like don't get me wrong, I debatably love PvP games, multiplayer games. I'm really mixed on them now. I'm more just like co-op PvE. That's my take now. But when it comes down to that, honestly, online gaming has ruined games because now developers can just put out these shit-ass games and, oh, lol, we're sorry, we fucked up. And then 2 years later, by the way, the game's finally in the state you should have gotten it when we launched it 2 years ago.
When they release a fucking early access for full price, make you pay $80 in DLC, and then goes, no, the game's complete. And it's like,
Honestly,
CEOs get shot over this.
That's why I honestly really like Marvel Rivals, because it is a complete game.
Yeah,
It's free.
It's free.
Like,
It's
I want to
like
buy cosmetics.
and you don't need to buy a cosmetic. You can get a lot of free cosmetics just by playing the game.
Yeah.
This is probably like this isn't gonna sound scathing, but this is probably the most scathing remark I can make on like gaming industry as a whole right now. One of the games, even to this point, at me being almost 30 years old, one of the funnest, most enjoyable games I've ever played in my life was Star Wars: The Clone Wars Republic Commandos.
Oh my god, that was such
That
a good
game fucking slapped. It was like 12 hours long. There were no fucking DLC. There was nothing. It was just a complete game. Okay, it did end on a cliffhanger, which kind of pissed me off, but I think there was plans for a sequel that got canceled because, game communities have it. But that aside, like, it was a complete game. You had like 3 very definitive arcs in the story, and then you were done. And you didn't need a DLC because there wasn't anything else to go over. It was just a fun fucking game, and then you were done.
Before I get to my hot take, I have a prime example of like a game releasing a new version of itself to update it a little bit, and that's Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Metal Gear Solid 2,
here we go.
It's going to be short. Metal Gear Solid 2 released
Fucking
another
will it?
version. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 2 released another version called Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance that had a fucking skateboarding mode in it.
Hey.
Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater released a alternate version of the game called Subsistence that had a different camera angle and a ape escape mode.
Nice.
By the way, I want to state my favorite game from my childhood that I remembered lately, and this might go like throw people for a loop who are listening for this. From the makers of Twisted Metal.
Oh my
fucking god! I know exactly what game it is.
Critical Depth.
Fuck yeah, my brother! Come on.
I never got to play that, but I really wanted to play that.
God, I love that game so much.
Twisted Metal was fun as
So
fuck.
actually,
it
one of the games that I had the most fun with was a Star Trek game, but you took control of spaceships from the Star Trek universe, and then you fought them in a 3-dimensional arena.
What the fuck?
That's cool.
Oh, it was so dope, and you had like your phasers, and you had ion torpedoes or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
They're space torpedoes. Oh man, I had so much fucking fun with that.
So
But anyway, no. So what? But what is your hot take? You still haven't said that.
Right. We keep getting sidetracked. Gamers are to blame for the current gaming landscape right now over the past 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, no. So that is 100%. And so that's actually kind of interesting because Games Workshop has kind of a similar deal. So
100%.
And so because what it is there's this 80-20 rule in business. 80% of your sales are through 20% of your customers. And it's that 20% of customers that literally set the tone for how that business is going to release its products and sales and things like that.
Yeah.
They're not going to cater to the 80% of customers. They're only going to cater to the 20%.
Yep.
And so that's like a big deal when it comes to like competitions, like tournaments and things like that. What you'll see is that a lot of the 20% consumer base in Warhammer are the big tournament players.
Yeah.
Because they want to have a list for everything. And so, and the same thing goes for like, Nintendo, Xbox, yada, yada, yada. And that is just, they're going to cater to their top 20% of consumers.
They're going to cater to the people who give them the most money over the people who give them the least. Point blank.
So it doesn't matter if, 5 million people say, hey, Nintendo, you are literal shit, when that 5 million players only makes up like $20 million worth of profit for them, when they've got 1 million players that are like, hey, we fucking love you, and they make up $15 million worth of profit annually.
Yeah.
Which I realize those numbers are drastically oversimplified, but you get the point.
Yeah. No, that's pretty fucking accurate.
So even to go a little further on the whole gaming thing, in case those of y'all who don't know, hey Matt, do you want to explain what Borderlands 4 is doing?
Okay, so here's a prime example of this, kind of what I'm referring to. I love Borderlands. I fucking love the gameplay. The story, is hilarious, and it doesn't make any sense. And like, there's millions of different combinations of guns in the game. First of all, you should look into their most recent update of their terms and service agreement. I'm not going to get into it. Just look it up, read it. Trust me, it's a whole thing. Anyway, so I think I've told the two sitting in front of me, not the third one sitting across from me. So they announced their collector's edition.
Oh yeah, you've told me this. Yes,
it's $150. Comes with some nice in-game goodies. Guess what? It doesn't come with, Mitchell.
The game.
The game. It does not come with the game. So you have to spend an additional $70 dues on the fucking game alongside the collector's edition to even fucking have the shit you want. And you know what?
Blew my mind when I heard.
And
that.
you know what's sad about
audacity.
it? What's sad about it is they're gonna fucking buy it.
They're gonna fucking sell out.
Hang on. What in the French toast EA bullshit is this?
Are y'all familiar with the term FOMO?
Have y'all ever looked up what the
I'll get back to FOMO. But
stockholders say about Games Workshop?
what?
It's that they don't even look at the games themselves. They just go like, "This is a company that keeps on keeps on pushing out more and more revenue every single year." So everybody thinks it's a great investment, which causes Games Workshop to even increase their prices more and push themselves harder more and more, milking their entire player base dry.
Yep.
So if you got then people like, I feel like all of us that are just kind of go, we physically just can't buy the game
I haven't
anymore.
bought I haven't bought a model in like a year and a half.
The last model I bought was Fulgrim.
Oh, you bought Fulgrim?
Yeah, I bought Fulgrim.
Yeah.
Just because, like,
Okay, you know
I am a
that
simp for
doesn't
Fulgrim.
count because you've been diehard Emperor Children for so long. They finally released them as an army. I can't even blame you for that.
Yeah. There's no, but
I
feel
bought
like
Fulgrim and I bought the new Lucius the Eternal. But, like, honest to God, after that, I'm probably not going to buy anymore. I'm just going to take whatever points I have, and it's like, if that only ends up being 500 points with an Emperor's Children, it's like, all right, cool.
I will buy a Christmas box. There's a reason why I'm just doing normal Chaos Space Marines, because they always get a Christmas box, and I can just
Slowly build up that way.
Yeah.
I want my Krieg, and I want enough to field a Black Templar army, and that's it. And I'm fucking good.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. The Black Templars, they haven't gotten a model update in so long. Just fucking 3D print your shit, and it's gonna look so much nicer.
They actually have a very fresh and new model line, though.
They got they got a lot of love in 9th edition. Yeah, they got the fucking Pyre Blasters and shit, and the Salamanders did. And I was like, what the Kentucky Fried Fuck is this?
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take that.
Here's another thing about GW that that I read, and let me say, going into this, I would not be surprised if this wasn't accurate, but the fact that for a split second I thought it was speaks volumes for the type of company GW is.
Or is becoming anyway.
I read a post about their draconic ass IP laws and whatnot, and for animators cracking down, they've been doing that for a while now.
Yeah.
Apparently, from the post that I read, they're doing it for cosplay now.
What
really?
the fuck?
Now, like I said, I didn't look into this. Like I didn't want to because I was like, good, I have enough depressing shit in my life. But the fact that I read it, and for a good solid 10 minutes, I was like, I can see them doing this.
Shows you the state of the company.
Goes to show you the state of the company is that I would not be surprised if they at least fucking tried. Gotta remember, this is a company that, I'm not gonna say the whole reason is why AOS is a thing, but a big part of why AOS is a thing is because you can't fucking
you can't monetize Lizardmen.
Yeah, you can't fucking put a patent on Lizardmen, but you can't put a patent on the Seraphon.
Yeah.
Or the Stormcast Eternals, or the fucking Dwarden, or the fuck they're called.
No, we say all this. It sounds like so much hate. We say it out of love because it's like we love the game.
Oh, love the IP, hate the company.
Yeah.
Like just I love everything GW puts out except for GW itself.
Yeah.
I love everything about GW except for GW.
Right.
Just fucking goes to show you, man.
Yeah. But anyway,
this has gone on for a lot longer than we had anticipated.
Yeah, we were initially planning on this rant being 15-20 minutes, and it's now been almost an hour.
Well, the problem was we were going to be just talking about a bunch of bullshit, but then we started ranting, and that's always when it gets long.
Yeah. Just blame me. I'm the emotional dumpster fire today, so just blame it on me.
Bro, you've spoken the least out of all of us.
Now, hold on.
Fuck are you smoking?
Before we cut this off, I have to do my thing on the magic thing that Mitchell talking about. I didn't forget that. You, FOMO.
Oh, yes.
Because FOMO's a big reason as why this exists.
Yes. Talking about video games. Did you hear the news coming out of fucking Europe?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So Europe, because they're not a bunch of filthy, degenerate fucking, child endangering gamblers. They are now in, it is currently in the EU justice system that basically video game companies can no longer practice predatory.
predatory
microtransactions.
I did hear about this. Yeah,
Like to the point where they're basically like, "Oh, hey, you have a premium currency? Cool. That must be completely and totally 100% refundable to a basically a euro equivalent."
yeah.
So if you say that you purchase 500 credits or whatever for €5, cool. I can literally at any point decide that I am not satisfied with my transaction of goods and services that you have provided for me. I demand a refund. And it's like, oh, but you used those 500 credits to purchase something. And
Don't
it's like,
care,
yeah,
give me my money.
It doesn't matter because they're basically saying your premium currency is now a form of actual valid monetary good.
I love
it
that.
is a monetary value.
And
fucking
it
love
is.
that.
Yeah.
Look at EVE Online.
So now
FIFA.
even if you go and purchase 500, even if you spend €5 to get 500 credits of something, and then you turn around and spend that on an item, if you decide that you don't like that item, you must and you try to refund it, they now must refund you the full price of that currency. And then if you further decide that you want your money back, you can go in and just say, refund me the 500 currency I have.
See, I didn't know all that,
I'm
but I
assuming
fucking love that. That's amazing.
I'm assuming you
And-
don't keep the item.
Can you
though.
imagine if that happened to
No,
Starbucks?
Yeah, the largest unregulated bank in the world.
I know.
But no. Here's where it gets really interesting though. So a really common.
Before you did, I have a question on what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's not illegal in the EU, is it? If there's a European
Well,
gaming
they're
company
pushing to make it illegal.
would they be able to do those practices in America where it's not illegal, even if they themselves are based in Europe?
Technically speaking, yes.
But it ain't
But
gonna happen.
also remember this. Apple is now internationally going to the Type-C charger because the EU said you couldn't have your own proprietary charger anymore.
Oh yeah, that is fair. That is fair.
Very fair. Very fair. Very fair.
And so here's where
Also, top Type-C supremacy.
oh yeah.
I mean,
As someone who
accurate.
has used Apple my entire life, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, rolling back to what I was saying earlier, though, it gets even more in depth than that, and these EU regulations that they're trying to push for, because also, a really popular tactic. Hey, I have a bundle where you can buy 500 credits for $5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the items in my store are either 400 or 600 credits. That is now illegal.
I love that because I hate
So
that
now
so
either-
fucking
I
much.
fucking detest that.
So now either you have to sell those for straight monetary value, or second option is you have to offer a credit bundle that is of the exact equivalent value to whatever in-game bundle you're trying to sell, like cosmetic item, or you must be able to purchase an exact number of premium currency so that you can purchase exactly what you want in one transaction.
Yeah, so then you're only really getting fucked on the tax, and like, fucking, there you go. I mean, tax is tax.
Yeah,
Man.
which also EU tax laws are very different from the United
This is
States.
going to really do
Yeah.
wargaming especially.
Oh my god, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just yeah.
Yeah, because basically because this started off in, I forget which country, but there are basically 3 separate countries that were like, hey, look, these predatory practices, looking at you, fucking EU and Ubisoft.
Goobysoft, get it right.
Yeah, fucking goobers over there.
You mean
But anyway,
EA and
Yeah.
Ubisoft?
yeah, what did I say?
EU.
Oh, EA. Yeah,
EA, give us money.
yeah,
We don't give you games.
We're in your wallet.
yeah. Anyway, looking
It's
at you.
funny because it's true.
Looking at you, EA and fucking Goobysoft. But no, so base, and also you can't do random packs and things like
Gotcha
that.
games. No loot boxes.
Yeah, loot boxes, like those are already going
it's
out
gambling.
the door.
It's
Yeah,
fucking gambling.
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
And this is where it loops into that whole FOMO thing, fear of so FOMO
Fear
is
of
an
missing out.
abbreviation for fear of missing out.
That's how you sell all this dumb bullshit, is because you don't. Because
So,
people have FOMO real bad.
Have you noticed recently in Helldivers 2 how their super store, it went from just one page of limited time to this massive collection?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so what it is every war bond has its own equivalent
Yeah.
superstore page. Where now
You
they're
want to know,
just
you want
all
to know
available.
my like headcanon for why that happened? Because part of this lawsuit that's being put together is basically that you can no longer have limited time events, limited time bundles.
Oh, so Arrowhead was like, we're just gonna get ahead of the curve on that. Boop. And just, yeah.
Yeah, so you can now no
man.
longer offer a limited time bundle.
When you think about it, this might actually start the end of like pay to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is...
Because now a bunch of companies aren't going to want to do it in general because they might start losing a lot of money on it. So
they're going to lose a lot of money on it.
Yeah, because 100%, what could potentially happen is it's like, hey, because traditionally what would occasionally happen is you'd have this limited time bundle that has this item that makes you god tiered for this like one particular season, right? And then the season would end, and then they'd change the meta.
Looking at you, fucking World of Warships.
But yeah, and so like now all of a sudden this, item that you spent $20, $30, $40, $50 on
80, 90, 120.
Yeah, whatever, is now straight up not as good. Guess what? Now you can demand a refund.
How is that going to affect games like Star Citizen, who you essentially can pay money for?
Okay.
Oh my God,
that's
that's
for
right.
for the promise of a ship. I like Star Citizen. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying, like, realistically, they're selling the promise of a ship eventually.
So that's actually an ongoing legal battle with Star Citizen specifically. Recently, they got in some hot water for that, and basically they were like, "Cool." That's a lot more complicated because of the nature of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I figured. I just wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah, no, that is like an ongoing issue with Star Citizen. It's just a little more complicated than something like Helldivers 2.
Right. No. That about it. Just kind of we're trying to keep it short.
Yeah, we should probably get into the...
Yeah, we really
Okay.
should, considering...
Yeah.
I'm going to keep mine less than 30 seconds. Fuck you, Mitchell. I build decks specifically to lose. So your casual bullshit, that's a problem with him, not me. Him, not me. I had multiple decks meant to get my ass kicked. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Ignored.
Wow, McSuck my cock.